Hello everyone, my name is Marty Jopson and welcome to my little bit of the Cheltenham Science Festival at home. Now, when I'm not doing science on telly for the BBC One show or writing books, I spend much of my time on stage talking to people about maths, physics, chemistry and also the thing I first trained in, microscopy. I like to do what I call live microscopy, where I show the audience what can be seen of the tiny world at our fingertips, right there on stage. The closest I could come to doing that during lockdown was live streaming microscopy from my kitchen table, which is what I've been doing 3 times a week as Micro Minute. There's over 28 episodes now, and you can watch them all at the website, on my YouTube channel, or just follow me on Twitter. The lovely people at Cheltenham Science Festival asked me if, since I can't be there in person, could I bring some of my favourite episodes to the at-home festival? And that is exactly what I've done. Taken a mix of different episodes and cut them together for your delectation. First, I need to say thanks to the people at Zeiss who produce and provide me with the kit needed to enable me to do this. And a special thanks to Ken, who sets up the electron microscope for me. So what have I got for you? Well, first up is a human specimen where I shall bleed for you to prove that I have red blood cells and, importantly, white blood cells too. Then we're off to plant science and a look at the dandelion, first under this microscope, and then we hook up with an electron microscope based in Cambridge, which I operate remotely. And finally, it's gorgeous crystals and all their wonderful colours. So, without further ado, this is Micro Minute. Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to be showing you some white blood cells under the microscope, specifically my white blood cells. Now, previously, on a previous Micro Minute, we looked at some red blood cells that I bled for you, and I showed you my red blood cells. And there's a link below in the show notes that will take you to that video, and you can watch that one if you want. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do something else so that we can see the white blood cells. So quite a lot to do, so I better get on with it. Right, let's see. I'm going to turn that off and show you my little desk camera. There you go. Now, I've got a whole new tech setup today, so apologies if it all goes pear-shaped. And in theory, this is streaming live on YouTube. Fingers crossed it's all working. And in theory as well, I can see your comments. If you go into YouTube, you can sort of put your little comments on. Anyway, so let's get on with it. So what I need to do first is I need to take some blood and smear it out on this glass slide here. So what I do is I do that, and then we get a drop of blood. You can see the blood. I'm bleeding for you. Don't say I don't do anything for you ever. And then I put that drop of blood on the slide about there. It's a bit of a small drop actually, this one. And then I try and staunch the bleeding, because I don't want to bleed all over my lovely microscope. And then I need to smear that out so that we can see individual cells. Like that. I'm going to get rid of that. And then this needs to dry out. And once it's drying out, I'm going to put it, I've got a little heater here, which heats the slide for me, and that helps things dry out. Once that's drying out, in fact, it's drying out very quickly, let me just show you what it looked like last time. This is what red blood cells look like. This is a still, this is not live. This is what they look like just under the microscope normally. So, no staining, nothing. They don't really look particularly red, and they're just little round blobbies. Let's have a look then. This is now dried. I'm going to put it underneath the microscope, and I'm going to just have a quick look to see if I can see if we've done a good job of this. Yep, it's a bit thick. This is a good section just here. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to flip over and show you. There we go, it's doing its thing. And now if I turn that off, ta-da! There we go. Blood cells, and I've cured the flicker. So those are blood cells, not very interesting. So what we need to do is stain them up. Okay. And to stain them up, what I do is I have to use these 3 chemicals here. Now, the process, I'm going to do it first, and then I'm going to talk you through afterwards. I'm going to tell you what I've done so that I can just sort of get on with it, so to speak.